Oh, wow. That's a new look. You ready, Mr. Wamble?
I am ready.
Here we go.
Triple X.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hi.
Oh,
Oh,
hi.
it's January the 18th, 2022.
hmm
Hello to you. Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome. This is Interludes Extra, Taco Tuesday.
Taco,
So,
taco, taco. Yes. And it's in effect. Oh, my goodness. I
it's
am
in
loving it.
effect mode.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be sure.
Kevin, our moderator, is in the chat. What's up? How you doing, Kevin?
Live and in effect. Rex in effect. That's
I love
right.
it. I love it. And my girl Tracy is in the chat. How you doing? Hey, all good vibes. I like hashtag good vibes. I like that. That
Yeah,
works.
Slay with Trey
Well,
in the month of J.
before I go on, let me do my little commercial. This episode of Talk on Tuesdays is brought to you by NBN's African American Historical News Journal. Give the gift of knowledge as the drive for five starts now. I got my five, and I invite you to get your five. Go to nbnconnect.com and type in interludes as the referral, and I'll have Kevin put it in the chat. Thank you so very much, Kevin. He rocks.
Put your five on it.
Get your five on it, and I see rocks. Sup?
Sup?
Yo, that's what I usually say to her.
Sup, yo?
Yo, what's up? What's up? Oh my gosh. So,
Crazy.
did you enjoy the holiday? I think many of us had MLK Day as a day of reflection, but
You
what did
didn't
you
take it
do
as
on
Jackson
yesterday?
Lee?
What happened?
You did not take the day as Jackson Lee Day?
What's Jackson Lee? I don't know what that means.
Oh, really?
I Jackson Lee. I don't. Who? What?
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
explain that. Explain
So
that.
so this is something I learned when I went into the South, into the dirty. When I first moved down to VA many
Okay.
years ago, the holiday was coming up,
hmm
and someone was speaking about the state, and they said, "Well, the way that we got this thing here is that you could either take the day off as the King holiday, or you could take it off for Jackson Lee." And I'm like, "Who's Jackson
I
Lee?"
don't know who Jackson Lee is.
So
So
the Lee
explain.
is Robert E. Lee, who was the president of the Confederacy during the Civil War, and the Jackson is Stonewall Jackson. So
hmm
in some of our wonderful states in the South, they have that day off, but they not celebrating the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. In their good conscience, they are remembering the great heroes of the Confederacy, and that's how they are spending that day. They still
Oh,
got the day off, so nobody's turning down a day off, right?
okay. Nobody's gonna do that.
But can you imagine in your head being so conflicted that you have to rationalize why you're taking the day off to honor in your mind a Confederate, a traitor to the U.S. rather than one of the greatest Americans and greatest human beings we have ever known?
Exactly, exactly. And that's how I chose to honor is to
So what
think
did you
about him.
do? The
I
voice.
I did some things where I checked in. I got the information about because I'm learning my congressman and who represents me here in Illinois,
Who
and
that? Who is that?
That's a good question.
Oh, you said you were learning. I thought you picked it up.
No, no, no. I looked up some things. I looked up some people, and I know who my alderman is and all the rest of that type of stuff. But just I just need to find out that information and go. You know what? I need to be able to reach out to them and talk to them about voting because I don't know if
Hmm.
voting is going to be affected here in Illinois like it is in other states. So I was just wondering that. Do you know who your congressman and senator is in your section of Illinois?
Congressman, yes, I do know a congressman. As far as a state senator,
Mm-hmm.
I believe a state senator. I believe that she is in this state in Illinois. She is the head of the Democratic Committee.
Okay.
So I can't remember her last name, but I do know her first name. I do know who that is.
Yeah.
So I'm able to. I can identify her.
Right.
If need be, I can identify who that is.
So
Um,
I'm saying all
mhm.
that to say that if you do not know who your congressman and state senator or senator person that represents you in whatever municipality or where you're at, find out and check the voting laws in your city and state. And there's a question on the floor to you, Michael. Augustine
Yes.
wants to know are you smoking something? He just wanted to know that real
No,
quick.
no. It's incense. It's beautiful incense. It's got a wonderful smell. It's cedar wood. It's from one of the grocery stores. It's just really nice and relaxing. I try
Hmm.
to be relaxed because some of the things that we talk about on here kind of can set me off. Like the reason that I mentioned the whole the Lee Jackson thing, Val,
Hmm.
is that I saw a story over the weekend on Saturday, and this
Hmm.
is coming out of Lexington, Kentucky. And here it is. It said Confederate flags filled the Oak Grove Cemetery in Lexington today for the Stonewall Brigade Camp Sons of the Confederate Veterans Lee Jackson Day events. Now here's the important part. Now you can both be happy and pleased about this, and also like WTF. Here it is. Because of legislation signed in 2020, Lee Jackson Day is no longer an official holiday in Virginia. But the Stonewall Brigade camp still wanted to commemorate the lives of Generals Robert E. Lee and Thomas J. Stonewall Jackson. Both are buried in Lexington. So they had a big event there where they brought out all the Confederate flags on the holiday weekend
And
that
this
most of the rest
and
of the
this
country
happened
is
just
honoring. Yeah, it was just a Saturday. Yeah. So
oh
thank you. Yeah, we got it in there. Good job. Yeah,
yeah.
it has been a lit. Yeah, okay. But 2020,
Hmm.
Mr. Marla, it was eliminated in 2020.
Yeah, if
That's
you
insane.
yeah, I know. We still got people asking about what is the smoke. My cousin wants to know is he wants
I,
to know if you're
I
on
don't.
fire.
It's incense. It's beautiful incense.
You-
Look, it's
and even Roxanne, she's like,
cedar wood.
inquiring minds want to
Cedar
know what
wood.
is the smoke.
It's cedar wood. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Hey
And it
Tracy,
has a
good to
certain
see you.
ambiance. Hi, Tracy. Hello. Hello. I think that's to you, but I'm gonna take it.
Oh my
but
gosh.
but 2020. So
Hmm.
so so can you imagine? I mean, so up until 2 years ago, there was people could decide whether or not they wanted to celebrate King or two Confederate generals, but you
Hmm.
still get the day off. So that's the most important thing, right?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
they late NBA.
Wow. Wow. Oh my gosh. So, guys, if you all did something special other than look at a Confederate flag on MLK Day, I'm just gonna, yeah, please put it in the chat. Let us know what you did for MLK Day to honor the gentleman
Yeah,
who fought
I su- I
for
supported
civil rights.
I supported children's education. That's what I did on that day. Meaning
Okay.
I graded papers.
Hey, that's wonderful. That's what, hey, you putting in work. I go to work.
Yeah,
like a thug
I
thug.
put in work. I did. Yeah, on that day. You know who didn't put in work on that
Who?
holiday?
Who?
Was the Arizona Cardinals. They decided not to put in work. They decided not to show up to a football game.
I'm assuming they lost.
Oh boy, did they ever!
Did they lose?
Woo, did they ever? You know, well, sadly, the other people that decided not to do any work on that holiday were the
Hmm.
Chicago Bulls, who promptly went to Memphis, home of the Civil Rights Museum, right, and
I've
just
been to that
laid an
museum.
egg as if they were ostriches or the eagle bird or something. I don't know.
I
It was
think
not good.
I think they weren't inspired, and unfortunately, maybe I don't know.
One of their best players is still hurt, so
Okay,
and a couple people are
hurt
hurt,
or
hurt,
injured
hurt.
or with COVID because I
No,
it's
no.
been
Oh, yeah. You got to clarify that stuff this
you
year,
got to
don't you?
clarify.
Yeah, no, like an actual physical injury, not an upper respiratory condition that could be deadly.
Right.
So I guess in that way, it's better,
Yeah. So
kind of.
I will go ahead and throw this back to you, Michael, because I see that you are recommending two comedies that ironically are airing right around the same time that we are here. But
They kind of
I
aren't, you know.
yeah,
TV is no longer kind of. I mean, I don't know. I don't really watch TV in that way. Like, well, what day does it come on? Is it on anymore? I mean, you could watch it at any time you want to. That's almost the beauty of it, you know.
I know, and I'm getting caught up with Abbott Elementary. I
Oh,
think
you should.
it
That's the
is
first one.
fun.
First one we want to talk about
Hmm.
tonight. Exactly, is Abbott Elementary, and I
Yeah.
gotta tell you, as a teacher now, I don't teach elementaries, but I have been in close contact with people who do.
Right.
Meaning, like I have friends that taught elementary. I was
Hmm.
in junior high for like a rural, and I have
How?
worked in the same building as the elementary school, which is was really weird.
Right.
And this show is so on point. It's
Wow.
funny for all the right reasons, and it's funny because it just is what it is. Um, it's written and the showrunner is an executive producer is Quinta Brunson,
Hmm.
whose face you all might know, not just because she's a Second City alum, because of course she is,
Oh,
but she
wonderful.
also starred in a Black Lady sketch show
On HBO, and
in
that's
HBO,
yeah,
the
which
highly
is great.
regarded Black Lady sketch show.
Hmm.
So in this show, it's set in Philly,
Hmm.
and it's set in an underfunded urban elementary school, which is pretty much every urban elementary school.
Very
They all
underfunded. Like
underfunded.
I there's some there's some scenarios that she goes through and you're just kind of like, "Whoa."
Like,
And it,
and and the beauty of it is like how it's put together. The way that I would describe it, I think it's like The Office and Insecure, like put together. You know,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
it has those kind of those confessional, like like to the camera cuts where they're
Mhm.
just talking right to you, and then there is the
So they
whole
break the wall. They break the wall and talk
right,
directly to the
yeah,
camera,
right,
which
because
is
at
great.
the very first show, the premise was they were showing you somebody's filming, showing you like what it's like to be there, and then
Right.
after a while you forget that's happening, but they just keep giving you those like shots right to the camera, and then
And
there's Janine, who is the main character played by Quinta Brunson, Janine, and she has, as we learned out of the first couple episodes, the world's worst boyfriend.
yeah,
Pretty much.
we don't
It's like
like him. He's a jerk.
he's a,
He's a
oh
jerk.
my god, it's
You're a
like
jerk. You're a jerk. You're you're a jerk.
and some of these references, and I know Valarie, I'm sure we haven't talked about it before, so just so people know, we don't like sit around and like have my own discussions and meetings and this stuff. But I'm sure you enjoyed the show because it also features a now all grown up Tyler James Williams.
Yeah, we all know him as the young Chris, and everybody hates Chris. I've been enjoying his adult work. He's been active on some
He don't look like
Amazon.
no little kid anymore, does
No,
he?
no, he's not. No, and he's a teacher too in the
Watch
help.
out now.
He's in the gutter with the teachers, just trying to make it work.
Oh, I
And
don't know if he's in the gutter,
I
but I
don't
know
think
the
he's in the
principal's
gutter.
mind is in the gutter when she looks at him.
Yeah, I well, but it's good to see that he portrays a male teacher, which is so rare, as you would know, Michael.
Unicorns. Here we are.
You're a unicorn. You're a
Here we
unicorn.
are. Like male teachers
I know.
unite.
I know. I want to say hello to Dr. Stephanie. How you doing? What's up, girl? And Ferdy
Hey.
is laughing at us. I don't know what we said earlier that was funny, but how you doing, Ferdy? Just laughing at us. And I don't know. My cousin is thinking that you're blazing on YouTube. I don't know. He's still not
I'm
under.
hot. What can I say? 5-star hot, right? Swipe,
Yeah,
swipe right.
I guess.
Swipe
And
right.
so
I guess.
I so
Yeah.
when so the thing of it is that Abbott Elementary, you can see it on ABC or Hulu the next day,
Yeah.
but it
But the
literally
principal,
airs
Val,
on tonight, right? Is that
Val,
correct?
the principal character. Let
Hmm.
me tell you.
Oh,
Okay.
what's about the principal
That's
character? Tell me about the
she's
principal
played
character.
by comedian Janelle James, who is
Okay.
funny in her own right. She's a stand-up. She
Okay.
has a spot on. You can go to YouTube and you can find her stand-up.
Hmm.
It's a little bit raw. It's not for the kids. It's raw. So
Thanks for the
she
warning.
is an extension of this. Okay, Val. This is so funny because I know this character that she's playing. I know that it's supposed to be over the top and ridiculous and farcical, and that's where the humor comes from. However, when I was in Texas,
Oh, I left
there was
my
a woman
exes down in
just
Texas.
like her. I mean, just like her,
Really?
down to the like the self the vapid selfishness as a. And I wondered, like, how could you be an elementary school principal and just have no sense of just environment, of priority or
Hmm.
anything? And it always amazed me. And so when I saw this character on this show, I'm like, oh my God, did she call her? Does she know her? How is this possible? Because this woman, God bless her,
Hmm.
this principal would every day drive to the school and park her Mustang, her brand new Mustang, candy red, sideways over two parking spaces right by the door. That's how I knew she was there on the days that she actually showed up for school. It was unbelievable. And I
Wow.
don't know if you know, just like like if you were at McDonald's, and the people that work behind the counter and the managers, they're not all on the same level, right?
No, they're not.
So it's like, okay, so yes, you showed me you making principal money. I got it. I get it.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Why you park sideways in front of the door? What's up with that? Like,
Because you don't know how to drive. You just
and she
doing
was
something. You just doing
I mean,
something goofy.
it, it would. She didn't seem to ever dress for the actual weather. Like,
So Michael's remembering.
so when she did get fired, which of
Hmm.
course she did get fired,
Hmm.
it was only a matter of time. I didn't like celebrate. I just quietly smiled to myself, like, mm, finally, somebody figured that one out.
Oh my gosh. Well, I
Woo.
definitely, I definitely. So guys, check out Abbott Elementary. It's a fun show, and if you need to catch up with it on Hulu. And then the next one is
Grand Crew.
Grand Crew. We mentioned that a couple of weeks ago
Yeah, I think we
when it
did.
first started, and they did like double episodes. But I'm starting to get into it. At first, I was kind of like but I
Uh
just
huh.
watched it. But I'm starting to like it. What do you
What
like
what
about
what do I like
Grand Crew?
about it?
What do you
It
like
it
about it?
is it is it's like a black Seinfeld, okay? Like
Okay.
the best way I can describe it, it's like Seinfeld, um, in Living Single. It's like if you took Seinfeld and Living
Living
Single and
single
you
and put
kind of
them together.
put them together, and then you added wine, which I love. So they were always drinking wine. So I mean, cheers to that. it has this really kind of basic friendship kind of humor
Mm-hmm.
mixed with absurdity. Like there's some parts of it are just ridiculous, like absurd. Like a washing machine where all the instructions are in German, so nobody knows how to use it except for one of the people who secretly has, I guess, lived in Germany and speaks fluent German. Like
Right.
what?
Very diverse, but it's a very fun cast, and I love
What?
some of the scenarios that they come up with, the dating scenarios and everything. So
Then the dude gets his hair relaxed. What was that?
I didn't understand that either. And it's set in a wine bar in L.A. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's set in this
Hmm.
wine bar. So the name of the show is Grand Cru, which is like a play on Grand Cru wine, spelled CRU, and in this case, they're Grand Cru CREW, as in like a group. So
Hmm.
it's just ridiculous.
Wow.
So really, the star of it is Nicole Byer, and I know you like her,
Yeah,
and she
I've seen her in a couple of things too.
yeah, well, I mean, she does. You probably recognize her. If you don't recognize her, she's a comedian who
Hmm.
was on Netflix's Nailed It. That's where she
Hmm.
kind of, I guess, made her
Her
mark.
name.
And
Uh-huh.
now she is on this kind of ridiculous show with John Cena that comes on ever so often. The water show, the water
The Water
competition
Show.
show.
I don't know that one.
Oh, oh, come on! No, with Nicole
Wipeout or
White.
something? I don't know what.
No, with John Cena.
Okay.
It's called Wipeout.
Well,
Wipeout.
Dr.
It comes
Dr.
on.
Stephanie came up with it.
There we go. Wipeout. Yeah, she's on Wipeout. Oh, she's so funny.
Yeah.
So
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 I
these are two good ones to check out if you're in, especially in need of a comedy. I think that there's a lot of seriousness going on in the world. We certainly are
Mhm.
keeping
We
abreast
need to
of.
laugh.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my goodness! In the wintertime, the dead of winter, and the other, this stuff going on, that's the you need some comedy.
Mhm. Yeah. So but
Getting dressed.
she ain't getting dragged. That's my friend. She talking about she ain't yeah. Well anyway.
Well, that was the principal I knew. I mean, she was wearing sandals and like three inches of rain. She's just like, I don't know. I guess she got her toes done, so there was just like no stopping it. I I,
Wow.
I couldn't. I was
Yeah.
like,
I, I
no.
I most definitely couldn't. I wanted to throw we were supposed to cover this last week, but the Golden Globes, dude. Did we even know that that showed on air? Did that what happened with that, man?
No, that
What
it didn't. No, it got nowhere near a television screen, and rightfully so. But it did occur. It
it
did
did
occur.
occur?
Like,
Okay.
yeah. So
And
it
what
is the
happened?
tree
Who won
falling.
and what happened?
It definitely is the tree falling in the forest, and no one is there to hear it fall. Did it fall? Yeah, it fell. It fell hard. It fell
Wow.
hard. The Golden Globes. So the only reason that you could have any interest in this at all is the fact that some of the things that they chose are likely going to get picked up by the Oscars when the Oscars win, if and when the Oscars are aired. I mean, some of these shows are getting postponed to the point that I guess it was today that we just got a new date on the Grammys.
Oh yeah, we
The
sure did.
Grammys have a new date as April the 3rd with the
Mhm.
Grammy Awards, and they're not going to be in LA now. They're going to be in Las Vegas.
That's interesting. I didn't
Yeah,
know
so they
that.
moved it to
Okay.
Vegas out of LA, and it's going to be in April the 3rd. But getting back to the Golden
Mhm.
Globes, they did happen. Here's what you had in your major categories for a Best Picture. King Richard didn't win, but The Power of the Dog did, which is this very emotional, psychological film set in the plains of Montana. Um, and it's It's on Netflix. So if
Okay.
that's something that you are interested in, it stars Benedict Cumberbatch
Yeah.
in it. Kristen Dunst
Mm-hmm.
is also one of the stars, and it's directed by Jane Champion, who won as Best Director at the Golden Globes that nobody watched or saw. She was one of two women who were nominated for Best Director. The other woman was Maggie Gyllenhaal, who was nominated
Okay.
for The Lost Daughter, which is an excellent film that you can also find on Netflix. It is an excellent. The two major categories were for actor and actress. In drama, Denzel won for best performance by an actor in a drama for Tragedy of Macbeth.
Mm-hmm.
And Val, I got to tell you, I have seen all of the major possible contenders for best actor now. I've
Okay.
watched all of them.
All
Yeah,
of them.
I'm relentless like that.
I
I,
know.
I even saw being the Ricardos. I pushed myself.
Oh, you
So
you watched this, and what did you think of
I
this?
did watch that. Yes, I did. What did I think of it? I thought it was great.
Oh, good.
It's really good. It is not just strictly like I Love Lucy. It goes
Okay.
into their lives outside of the show. It shows really driven, motivated people who
Mm-hmm.
understood that they were talented more than the people around them understood their talent, and therefore they kept pushing and maximized themselves to get to the point where they were. I mean, you know that the story of the Ricardos,
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
actual Lucille Ball
Mm-hmm.
and Desi Arnaz is that they formed their own production company, Desi
Which was
Lou.
huge.
Right. And,
Yeah.
and then they went on later on to produce other shows.
Right.
So this is a kind of a behind the scenes look at them. We haven't really seen anything like this in goodness in so many years.
Right.
Destiny Arnaz did write a biography, but that thing is from like 1975. You can't even find that in bookstores or even on Amazon. So to have
Um,
his perspective told, to have these perspectives told in that, it's great. However great Javier Bardem is, he don't touch Denzel Washington. Okay,
okay.
Denzel Washington was the winner for. I'm looking at something and saying something different, but
Oh,
oh, that's
Denzel
right. Yeah,
Washington.
no, you're right. You're right. It was Will Smith. Will
So
Smith
Will.
won
So
the
Will
Golden
won.
Globe.
Okay.
He's not gonna win the Oscar though. Denzel
Okay.
Washington will win.
Okay.
So Will
That's
Smith
your
won the
prediction.
Golden
Okay.
Globe. Thanks, Kevin, for that. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
He did win a Golden Globe, but there's no way, no way.
And somebody had a question. Is the Golden Globe still a thing? Probably not, because it didn't
Well, it is.
air.
Well, it is, but it's just not. It just wasn't aired this year.
Right.
So is a thing. Does it exist without being aired? Well, yes, right.
Mm-hmm.
Because Val, you and I know that there are tons of critics awards that happen throughout the year that are quite substantial and influential to thank you, Kevin, to the award season, and they don't get aired. There's the New York Circle critics. I mean, beyond New
Yeah,
York,
that
we
doesn't
don't
get
watch
aired.
that nationally.
Mm-hmm. No.
There's the San Francisco critics, the Chicago
Mm-hmm.
critics, and all of these smaller um, awards kind of shape and give you a barometer for what you might see at the Oscars. So that's
Right.
what we're looking at the Golden Globes. I disagree with the Golden Globes and Best Actor. I don't think it's Will Smith. I saw Will Smith what he did. It
Me
was
too.
amazing, but Denzel Washington is on another level right now. The Golden
Okay.
Globe went to, as I think you see, for Best Actress in a Motion Picture, it went to Nicole Kidman for
Mm-hmm.
being the Ricardos playing Lucille Ball.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of hard to argue with. She was really outstanding in that. But I think that there's any competition is coming out of two different places. First is Olivia Colman,
Okay.
who's an older British actress who gets nominated for reading her name. Oftentimes, when it comes to
Well,
she reads her
she's
name on
won.
screen and she's nominated.
Yeah.
Um, So she is. You probably know her from The
The
Crown. So
Crown.
you
I was just
know
about
her.
to ask because she's from
Exactly.
The Crown. Yes.
Right. Yeah. But she gets nominated for her portrayal of a mom, an older mother, in The Lost Daughter, and she is excellent. That's an
Hmm.
excellent movie to watch at some point
Okay.
if you're an adult, and especially if you're a woman. I think that would there's some aspects of that I understand because I'm intelligent, but I don't understand it the same way a woman might because it really
Okay.
speaks to being um, an experience that I can only read about. So it's
Exactly.
really interesting. The
Hmm.
other one is this, and this is on HBO. It's a little bit you can find it though, and it didn't seem to get a lot of attention
Okay.
or like publicity, not the way Lady Gaga did, or but Jessica Chastain plays Tammy Faye Baker
I
in
heard
The
about
Eyes
that.
of Tammy Faye,
I
and
heard
that is
about
on
that.
HBO,
Yeah.
and she she is phenomenal. She gives an amazing performance,
Was she
and
nominated?
she was nominated for best actress.
Okay.
And I think that will
Oh,
continue in the Oscars. I think
yeah.
she will get remembered
Yeah,
for that.
she was unrecognizable. I did not
She looked
see
like Tammy
Jessica.
Faye.
She looked like Tammy. Whoever did her makeup, the face, everything, and how her mannerism, she studied it. It was Jessica was phenomenal in that role.
The thing that I think helps her in that role, which I don't know if he'll get nominated for it. I doubt that he will, but I do want to acknowledge it. Is Andrew Garfield. Andrew
Yeah.
Garfield plays Jim Baker, and he does it so flawlessly. He does it without a lot of makeup.
Hmm.
He just at some point he gets that grin. If you ever seen Jim Baker, he had this kind of like weird, kind of droopy grin to her. You always talk about Tammy Faye's face, but Jim's face was also quite unusual. And at some point, Andrew Garfield gets it, and it's like it's him. It's like, oh my God, I'm watching Jim and Tammy Faye again. How could this be? And then like, where do I send my donation? I mean, it's sort of weird, but they do a great job. So I think that if you have the time, there are some great movies out there. There's some things that you can find that you can stream. Some of them may take you back into the theaters, but by now, as we approach February, a lot of them are going to be available either for rent or streaming on some service. So I think it's worth looking at. I think that this is it, though. I think we're at that point where anything that's going to get nominated is out now. I don't think there's anything
Anything that'll be
sneaking
coming.
in.
Yeah, that'll be
No,
coming a
no.
little
I
bit
think this
later.
is it.
And if
Yeah,
you
I think this is
guys
it.
in the chat, I just put it in the chat. If you guys have seen either The Tragedy of Macbeth with Denzel Washington, King Richard with Will Smith being the Ricardos, if you had seen any of these nominated films, put it in the chat. We want to know what you thought about it and if you liked it. I mean, I definitely I've made an appointment to go see or to see The Tragedy of Macbeth because I'm a little shy to look at Shakespeare, but it's Denzel, so
It's Denzel. Okay,
it's
it's
Denzel.
Denzel. And one of the
Thank you,
things I
Ferdy.
know it's Denzel. And what he's talked about in terms of playing Macbeth and the way that he approaches Shakespeare is so awesome.
Right.
So what he says, and it's Denzel saying it. So Denzel says it better than I ever could. But what he says is that instead of reciting Shakespeare, like some people like recite Shakespeare, I blah 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 blah. He kind of just lets it flow out of him as a normal response. It's like, okay, this is this guy's vocabulary. These are the words he speaks, and he just Slay, you got to see it. You got to see it. I mean, okay, you got to see it because at some point, and
Mhm.
it's Shakespeare, so I don't think I'm giving anything away. But at some point, you got two brothers with swords fighting it out in a sword fight. No swords. No,
Oh,
no,
oh,
not this. Swords.
with a sword. Okay.
No, no, that's a hammer, girl. Sword. A sword fight. So
In
I
my
mean,
mind, I have a
imagine.
sword.
So, but it's two brothers, and one of them is Denzel, and they fighting with swords, and it's Shakespeare, and you like, damn, am I watching this? Is this a thing? This is awesome. this is awesome.
Was
Like
it a
you
stunt?
thought
Was it
like
a stunt
Hamilton,
double?
you
It
thought
had to have
Hamilton
been
took
a
you
stunt.
somewhere else.
It was a stunt double, right? Because Denzel is over 60 now. I'm thinking about Mo Better Blues, but that was 30 years ago. So he's 60. He had a
You
sword,
know
or
what? I
was it a
maybe Denzel had trouble, blowing or blowing a horn or getting a horn blown, but he looked like he could swing his own sword. I think he's capable. Uncle Denzel can swing his own sword.
yeah,
I
yeah,
give him that.
yeah. We're raising him to we okay.
Yeah, I
And
don't know. He may
Ferdy
not need no help. I don't know if he needs a pill, blue or otherwise. He can swing his own sword,
yeah, and
and he
Ferdy is
does
and Ferdy's
effectively.
agreeing. He's like he wants to see the tragedy of Macbeth as well.
It's good. It is good. And yes, it's
Okay.
Shakespeare. And yes, it is a whole new language. It's an invented
Thanks,
language.
T.
But look, you know what? Exactly. Macbeth is awesome. Here's the thing. When Val, because I hear this from students at times,
Okay.
people tell me like, oh, it's a language. I can't get with Shakespeare. What are they talking about? It's like, for real, you can't get with Shakespeare when you can get with Polo G. You know what Polo G is saying.
I um
You know what Soldier Boy's saying. You understand what Jay Z is talking about,
well,
or
sometimes
Eminem.
I like Jay-Z when he's with his wife.
All right. So look, all I'm saying is this: like, if you could break down what Megan Thee Stallion is telling you, you could break down what William Shakespeare is saying. It's
I'm
just a different vocabulary. It's got different words to it. Francis McDormand, good question. From Kevin, he's like, "How was Francis McDormand's performance?" Um, Short version, she was good. She was
okay.
solid in the role of Lady Macbeth.
Okay.
Um, this was seemed to almost be a subdued, if it's possible, a subdued Lady Macbeth.
Okay.
Clearly, it is the tragedy of Macbeth, and I know at times when people read the play a certain way, especially when they read it more than watch it, um, Lady Macbeth's role and kind of amping her husband up gets highlighted, gets pushed. Um, they are equally motivated in their pursuit of power.
Okay.
And Val, I don't like Frances McDormand. You know that, right?
Well, you made it clear when she was in the
She looks like a sack of potatoes most of the time. I'm sure she's gonna show up to
wow.
the Oscars looking like she borrowed I don't know, like aluminum foil and wore it there to protest whatever it is she wants to protest or whatever. Anyway, as an actor, she is solid in this. Denzel is
Mhm.
great. It
And
is worthy to see.
one of the people, this is actually Lori on Facebook. She's saying that Shakespeare is her favorite and Denzel is amazing. So of course it will be great. And it's on her list to see this weekend. Thank you so
Now,
much,
now,
Lori.
y'all, now,
Mhm.
as y'all kind of like, ponder and try to schedule when you want to see it. Just know this: you can see it in the theater, but at this point, you can also see it on Apple TV. So Apple TV has it. If you have Apple TV, it's available to you in that form, as well
Yeah.
as in a theater if you want to see Denzel where he should be, like 20 feet tall on the big screen. You can find him there.
I know.
Options,
Options. Options.
options. And speaking of long time venerable actors,
Mhm.
like Denzel Washington, you got somebody to tell us about, Val? A Debbie, a Debbie Morgan?
Well,
Is there a Debbie Morgan sighting?
oh my, yes, there was. There's a Debbie Morgan. Oh my gosh, I can't even say her name. Debbie Morgan's Titan. I was a huge fan of All My Children when I was growing up. And guys, I don't know if you all remember this.
And
Let
that's
me
Jesse.
that's oh good gracious. Now, let me tell y'all this story. Let me tell y'all this story. When I first moved to New York, I'd been there maybe a couple of months. I was on the train. I was on the D train,
She with Jesse.
and I saw Jesse on a
Jesse.
train. He was on the D train going over the Manhattan Bridge. Notice
All
I
right.
said Manhattan Bridge.
Okay.
And so I
Manhattan.
walked up to him and I was freaking out in my brain. I was like, oh my gosh, it's Jesse. Oh my gosh, it's Jesse. And I said, you know what? No, don't do that. Don't do that, Val. His name is Darnell Williams, and you will go up to
His
him
name is
like,
Jesse.
no, 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 no. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be that
I don't know
crazy
no
fan.
Darnell.
So, Michael, I got to explain something to you. Now, if you're in New York, and even if you're famous, you're trying to get from point A to point B. You don't want nobody bothering you. So I remember how it was. You didn't want nobody touching you. You didn't want nobody around you, especially you was on the train. It's like, I'm trying to
Okay.
get there. I'm going to go where I'm going. Just don't say nothing to me. So I walked up to him. I was like, Mr. Williams, Mr. Williams, and Mr. Williams. And he kind of looked at me like, oh, what do you want? And I was like, I just want to let you know that myself and my mom, we are such huge fans of you and Debbie Morgan. I just want to let you know that I think you guys are great and you represented African Americans well on soap operas. His whole face changed. He was like, thank you. And I was like, yes, because I knew the approach had to be respect. I couldn't go at him and say, it's Jesse. Oh my gosh. I didn't want to do that. I said, Mr. Williams. And I said, Mr. Williams, because I wanted to give him his respect. So
Jesse, why you do her like that? Why you leave her? Why you leave that woman there? Why you leave her that way? That ain't right. That ain't right. I love all my children.
it was something, it was a soap opera that I bonded with my mom. And back in the day when there wasn't before reality television, before
Uh-huh.
all of the channels and cable that
Yeah.
we had soap opera Love in the
Whoa,
Afternoon.
Val. Are you trying to tell me that soap operas aren't real?
The new soap operas
You
are
trying to tell me they're
reality
not real?
television.
That man's name is Jesse. You called him by Darnell, which I still
Darnell
don't
Williams
understand.
is the
His name is
actor.
Jesse.
And so my people are agreeing with me. Tracy saying she love all my children. T is saying the same thing. That's right. I love it, love it, love
Well,
it.
I,
So
I
I'm just,
loved it, because it came on after Ryan's Hope.
yeah, I remember Ryan's Hope. Oh my gosh. And yeah, T reminds us, she says their storyline was deep and it was before its time because um Angie was studying to be a doctor.
Angie,
Angie, and she got
Jesse,
married to him. Her last name became Hubbard. I forgot what was Angie's name before she got married to Jesse, because it was Jesse Hubbard and Angie. Y'all remember?
Angie. It's pretty. Her last name was pretty because she's pretty. Angie's pretty.
And
That's how you say it.
she has the deepest dimples I have ever seen on a black woman. Like, she is just gorgeous. I've always thought of Debbie Morgan as just gorgeous.
Hold a second. Hold a second. So I'm about to blow your mind. I'm about to go deeper than this.
Where you about to go? Where you about to go?
I know there were no black people in Ryan's Hope, but there was a girl named Siobhan, and now later on, like every other black girl that I have met in my life has been named Siobhan, spelled the wrong way. So anyway, I do understand that, but everybody loved the names on Ryan's Hope because it came on before all my children.
Well,
Now,
T is
Val,
saying that there was no black people
I
on
know
Ryan.
there
So,
wasn't no black people on there. Yeah, so yeah, okay.
but,
Okay,
but
when no black people west of Western either. All right. So anyway, the Chicago thing.
yeah,
So
but
so going back, Val,
mhm.
do you remember how big the story arc between Angie and Jesse was? That it was so big that it carried over and it spilled over into cameo videos.
Yes,
There was like a whole set of
yes, I
videos,
remember.
cameo
What was
videos.
that? The Single Life?
It was Single Life, and then it was the one where they were cheating. Man, oh my,
I
oh,
forgot that one. And
you
Debbie
remember?
Morgan appeared in the video.
Oh, they all
What was it?
did.
I'm living the Trey. If you can
Yeah,
help
but
me out.
it was Angie and Jesse and that other light skinned dude that I ain't like that was trying to break them apart. He was in the video too. It was Cameo. Cameo had this whole set of videos. It was awesome.
I
Cameo
loved it.
and
I loved it.
yes.
Well, the one thing that I wanted to say, because Debbie Morgan has been acting for I want to at least say about 3 decades. Yeah, she's been
Yeah.
three or four. She is back, and I'll put it out here. She is portraying a monarch on the Fox series called Our Kind of People. And I guess, and a lot of people, and I'm going to pause right here. A lot of people are recognizing her from the series Power, where she played Tasha's mama. And it
Uh-huh.
and so yes, so that's the great thing, is that she's been active. But the great thing is that on the new show that she's on, oh wait a minute, and T is remembering this, Jesse, Angie, and their son Frankie loved it. Yes, I remember their son Frankie.
Baby.
Yes, oh my gosh. So the great thing is that she is bringing back Darnell Williams to the show that she is currently on, which is called Our Kind of People. I have not had a chance to check it out, but it is
The
available.
show?
The show, I have not got a chance
Oh,
to
I
check it
watched the
out.
show. I can tell you about
Yeah,
the
right.
show.
And Yaya DaCosta, who is in this scene with Debbie, and Debbie is holding it down. I like to think of it, and I think Morris Fine Chestnut is in there. Ooh, ooh, ooh,
He
boy.
is, but he's as
Oh
useless
boy.
as ever. As useless as ever.
All right, stop laughing at me. Stop laughing at me, Roxanne. All right, come on, it's gonna be all right. Well, anyway, Debbie Morgan is bringing him back. Literally, I don't know what the storyline will be to bring him back into, but my favorite actor Joe Morton is on there as well, from Scandal, and a lot of people, if you remember A Different World, he was the senator.
Yeah, and he plays Yaya's his Yaya's estranged father, who
Ah, okay.
is stupid rich. The whole show is kind of about the idea that there is and there remains to be a whole section of African Americans who are very wealthy
Right.
and
Hmm.
just born that way, have lived in the Hamptons, vacation in
Ah.
the Hamptons
Hmm.
and do this and do that. And they're not all, TV movie stars. They just people who are in finance who are just rich. So Yaya's character is adjacent, connected to this family through
Okay.
being the illegitimate daughter of Joe Joe's character. Okay,
Okay.
so Joe Morton's character from Brother from Another Planet. Yes, one of my favorite movies,
Yes.
Brother from Another Planet. So she goes into this world. She has inherited this space. She wants to go into. I think it is cosmetics and hair care and all. And it's interesting in that way. It's based of a story by this gentleman who got acclaim in the 80s, in the 1980s. He
Hmm.
was African American, who talked about being of like upper class in African American and kind of the dichotomy of race and then social status. You probably remember that. He got a lot of acclaim there. He
Hmm.
kind of served as there was a movie. You remember the movie that was set on the beach? There was a movie that was set on the beach that was about this wealthy family who kind of stayed off on this island, and that's where they vacationed for the summer. I think that our boy Lorenz Tate was in that. I'm going off
Oh,
memory
that
now.
was back in the day. I remember that one. If you
Okay,
guys
so
remember
this
that
is
one.
the same person who was the inspiration for that story is
Hmm.
the inspiration for Our Kind of People. Unfortunately, he died during the early part of production for this
Okay.
show, so he's no longer obviously no longer involved creatively with the show. They still carry his name on there because he was present for the pilot and made sure that the pilot um, fit this background and this experience that he had. So I can't think of his name right now, but
And
the
he's
movie,
is he listed as the creator of Our Kind of People?
yeah, he should still be listed as creator.
Okay. I'm gonna
He
bring it
was
up.
the gentleman that wrote, yes, the Inkwell. Thank you, Kevin. So the Inkwell,
Oh,
yeah. So the Inkwell was partly inspired by one of his stories, if I remember the story correctly.
wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
that
it's a different experience. It's not, for folks who, people out there, it's like, well, how come things that have to do with African Americans, may, are like power. That this is the complete opposite of that world, but still very cutthroat business.
Mm-hmm.
So, so
Yeah, and
it's an interesting show.
yeah, so I think I would really give it a chance, and it is on Fox, but definitely you can check it out. I think
Oh,
where
Hulu,
would if where do Fox shows go when you want
Hulu.
to see it? Hulu. So you
Hmm.
can check out Our Kind of People. Debbie Morgan. This particular episode that airs tonight will feature a very recognizable Jesse, but that portrayed by Darnell Williams. So I would love to see where that is. You know what? I did not realize this, and I'm just gonna bring this up. Um, our golden girl, her birthday was yesterday on the MLK Day, and she would have been 100. So I was very happy that she was also a animal advocate as well as someone who was from our area. She was from Oak Park. So this scene right here is at one of the theaters in Oak Park, Illinois, where she's from, and everybody went all out to either do something, donate to charities that were animal advocates, or just it was like the Betty White challenge. Did you hear about that, Michael?
I did hear about that.
Hmm.
Yes, in Oak Park.
Yeah,
Oak Park.
it was really a nice celebration, and Betty would have been a 100, but I just wanted to mention her because she was someone that in comedy, just with timing, just no one has said anything bad about her, and remembering her, and just being a woman who represented just represented people well. And like I said, I was a big fan of the Golden Girls. I was a huge fan of the Golden Girls, and if I still want to rewatch it, I go over to Roxanne, if you could have that on what was that, the Hallmark Channel or something? Yeah, late at night. And then thank you so much, Kevin, for putting that up there. Someone else's birthday was yesterday too. Who do you think whose birthday it was? Oh, it was Lawrence Odom Otis Graham. He was the writer and creator of
Our
Our
kind
Kind
of
of
people.
People and the Inkwell. So he
Okay.
unfortunately passed away. So, but I know the legacy lives on with
Yeah.
Lawrence
Mhm.
Otis Graham. That is amazing. Oh
Yeah, you
my
can look
gosh.
him up at some
But
point.
who else who else's birthday do you think it was yesterday? Take a guess.
You want me to take a guess? His
Yeah, take a
birthday?
guess.
Lotus?
Yes.
Forever Flotus?
Forever Flotus. Yes.
My
It was
Flotus.
it was her 58th birthday yesterday. I didn't know she was born on January 17th. Come on.
She look good. Is that is that a recent? She look good.
Well, you know what? I
She
think
looks
the
so
stress
good.
of not being
Why she
I
look
think
that
the
good?
I think the stress of not being a first lady is present. So I think that's what it is. I don't have to deal with it. And she walked away, and she's like very happy. I don't have to be bothered no more, and I'm
Well,
out.
you find a picture with her with cleavage too. Well, how'd you do that, man? I didn't know those existed. I thought the Secret Service like destroyed all of them. Woo. You go back to that picture. Let's see that again. I didn't know those existed. I thought the only Barack had them pictures.
Oh my gosh. But
Mm.
guys, thank you so very
Did
much
you
for
see her? Did you see her, Val? Did you see the pictures going around with Michelle? And she was like, she and Barack was celebrating. What was that? New Year's.
yeah, that
And
was
she
fun.
had on the
Had the
little
glasses on.
outfit and the stuff. And
Yes.
yeah, that's good. I need more of that. We need more of that. That boosts the nation's morale. Boosted mine.
I
I
know, I
I
know.
enjoy that.
Oh,
My
I
goodness,
didn't now. I want to ask this. This is Lori that's asking us. Did you know that? Oh, I didn't know that. Each one of the Golden Girls earned an Emmy. I didn't know that.
makes sense.
That
Okay,
makes sense though.
definitely that makes sense.
Yeah, Rue. B. Author.
McClanahan, yeah, B.
Yeah.
Arthur, Maud,
Maud. Yeah.
mhm.
And
Betty
that's
White could have for either the Golden Girls or Mary Tyler Moore or
hmm
dozen other shows she was in.
oh, so all four of them won Emmys. That's amazing.
Estelle Getty. I think Estelle Getty actually won for the the Golden
Golden
Girls. If I
Girls.
remember correctly, she actually won it for that show.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
know they would get nominated eventually to a point. It's like I think they stopped getting nominated because it was an annual thing every
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it
definitely.
was
Wow.
it was phenomenal. And I really, like I said, I love Betty White. I I wish that she had made it to her 100th birthday, but it's okay. It is okay. I She is celebrating somewhere with the girls, the Golden Girls, as well as the Mary Tyler Moore. I think they came and got her. I think Ed Asner and
Mm-hmm.
Glory what was it? What's her name? Leachman?
Uh, Cloris Leachman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, they came and got Betty.
Oh,
He's
so
like,
Kevin said in terms of birthdays, yesterday's birthday, yesterday was Jim Carrey's birthday. And
okay,
Jim
happy
Carrey
birthday,
is
Jim.
definitely, he is featured on what will be the number one album or CD in the country right now.
hmm
He is featured on Dawn FM, which is the Weeknd's new album.
Ah, weekend. Okay.
Yeah,
All
so Jim
right.
Carrey plays a big role vocally on that. He's a DJ on it, and
I'd like
so
to
if you
see
haven't,
that.
you'd like to hear that. Yeah, you can
I'd
see
like
it
to
too.
hear that.
There's
Yeah.
some, yeah, he is definitely. Oh, there's one for you, Val. You probably can handle that one.
Is Good Times one of the spinoffs for Mod? Actually, it is. And I believe Florida Evans,
Okay.
aka Esther Roll, portrayed Maud's maid. And his, I think, John Amos, who played her husband, his name was different on Mod. Then they changed it to James Evans when Norman Lear created. Yeah, Norman Lear created Mod as well as Good Time. So yeah, what else
Okay.
do you
Okay.
got?
So that means something that never gets spoken. That means that you can connect Good Times to the Jeffersons. That there's a connection between the Good Times and Jeffersons. The Jeffersons
Is there
gotta be
Norman?
if it's connected to Maud.
I believe Norman Lear is the connector.
Okay, so then, All in the Family, right?
Okay.
All in the Family,
Mm-hmm.
Maud,
Mm-hmm.
Maud to Good Times.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to All in the Family. All in the Family. Where do they get their clothes cleaned?
Cleaned. They got them
By
cleaned at
the
the
Jeffersons.
Jeffersons. Okay.
Unbelievable. So there's
Yeah.
some universe in which Florida Evans could have met George Jefferson.
Probably, yes.
That would
Definitely.
have been an interesting conversation.
That would have been a fun conversation. And I just recently watched an episode of Maude, and it looked like it. I realized that she wasn't in New York City proper. She was in like away, like in Queens or like a suburb or something. She wasn't quite in Manhattan. So
If I'd agree with separation, right? Yeah, three or
so but
four,
but
something
they
like
when the
that.
spinoff happened, they placed James and Florida Evans in a tenement called Cabrini Green in Chicago.
Yeah, did they
And
move? I mean,
I'm
because
yeah, and Kevin's hilarious. He's like 5 degrees of
yeah, when did
separation.
they
Yeah.
move?
I
Right?
don't
Because
they
clearly,
was they was
you know,
broke. I don't know. But
I mean, All in the Family's New York, clearly, right?
yeah.
So's the Jeffersons.
Mm-hmm.
So's Maud's in
Mm-hmm.
that region. And then all of a sudden, like Florida, where she goes to Chicago, it's so
Goes to
bad in New York
Chicago.
that she leaves to go there.
Well, I mean,
It's a Brittany
I
Green.
understand leaving New York.
Yeah, but I don't understand escaping to Cabrini Green. No, that ain't nobody's escape. Okay, even Candyman wanted to get out of there. So I don't know about that one. That doesn't fix
Oh my gosh. Well,
sense.
Michael, we have a new segment that we do now on Wednesdays, and Michael will be doing hashtag Wamble Wednesdays. That's
Yay,
exciting, and that'll be streaming on our Facebook group, but we're gonna expand it out to the YouTube channel so you guys can go ahead and check it out. But we'll go ahead and ask the question and just hit the like button and please share.
smash,
This is our
smash, smash,
this is our
smash
first
the
time
like button,
streaming.
smash the
This is our
like
first
button.
Yeah, this is our first time streaming to LinkedIn.
Hey,
And
LinkedIn,
hi, LinkedIn. A couple of our users came over, and then of course we're streaming right now in our Facebook group as well. So thank you so very
appreciate
much.
you.
I think I see my aunt Lois is over there. My cousin out in
Yay,
Cali is there, and then Trey loves it. She says Womble Wednesdays. That's cool. That's
thank
a wink
you,
and a
thank you.
nod.
Yeah,
Explain what
it's
the concept is.
I kind of talk about some of the things that are going on, little smaller issues, things that we don't get a chance to get to on Tuesdays, and
Hmm.
also like to get everybody ready and prepared for the podcast drop.
That's
And the
right. The
podcast
podcast
drop
drop. That's right. That's
every
right.
Wednesday, every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
So
So I'm very happy with who we're going to be having on tomorrow for our audio
yeah,
podcast is a wellness coach, and someone is a podcasting partner, Dr. Marie Celestin, and I'm just excited. I actually am on a podcast with her, with a good friend of mine.
hmm
She's in the chat, Tracy. When you see Slay with Trey, that YouTube channel is there. I will be there in the morning, slaying with her, talking,
right.
talking about how to have great self love, being awaiting you, which is always wonderful. And yes, so it's a wellness coach and best selling author, Dr. Marie Celestin, and she's been a joy to get to know over these last couple of months. And yes, she is. Yes, T, she is the goddess. So I just wanted to go ahead and give a shout out
Woo.
to her, and it's going to be a fun radio. We will, when I am ready to release the podcast, Michael will be in Womble Wednesdays, and then he
Drop
will he will let us know when it's
when it's
dropping.
dropping.
Drop.
The podcast is dropping, is dropping, is dropping.
The storm before the calm. There you go. That's
The
right. There you
storm
go.
before the car. I like that. I want a shirt. I want that on the shirt.
There you go.
The
Put it
storm
right
before
there
the
on the
calm.
shirt.
Love it. Love it.
And before we go,
Woo!
we got to do this. Today's episode of Talk on Tuesday is brought to you by NBN's African American Historical News Journal. Give the gift of knowledge as the drive for five starts now. Learn more about it at nbnconnect.com. And if you decide to go ahead and purchase these historical journals, in the referral section, please type the word interludes.
Interludes.
Interludes, because they know that's us. They know that's us.
Right. They know us.
They know
Five.
us. And
Put your
Michael,
five on
get
it.
your five on it. Get your five on it. And
Five
Michael,
on
what's
it.
your name?
Well, my name is not Valerie the Voice Johnson, but luckily your name is because this has been Interludes Extra Talk on Tuesday with Valerie Johnson.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this evening. Peace.